Oh, what is going on, lads? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia, and welcome to the North Queensland Cowboys full season review for the 2024 season. Unfortunately, we bowed out of the semi-finals last week against Cronulla. We made it to week 2 of the finals, and we unfortunately bowed out to the Sharks, who are one of our rivals. But I've had a few days to reflect on the game, and I can say that I've moved on from it. It sucks, but that's how the season goes sometimes. But Callan is here as well. Callan, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, good, Nick. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, a bit sad the way we bowed out. Very disappointing.
Oh, if only we didn't have that bad first half. We might have actually won, and we would have been playing Penrith Saturday night. But hey, that's just how it goes sometimes.
I
Just how
think
it goes.
what let us down was the boys not watching your fucking vlog, mate. We
Well,
outlined what they had to do.
we said in the preview what we had to do. We said start well, defend well, watch out for Trindle, watch out for the bench. And they did the exact opposite on all 4 of them. Fuck. But, it is what it is. And as always, hello to the chat. We got a bit of a crowd building up here, which is good to see. Who we got here watching? We got Lockie, Josh, NRL Edits, Michael Driver. Who else is here? SS Storm fan. The J-Man, Big Sharkies fan on Twitter, I believe, or X. Shout out to the J-Man. Hope you're well, mate. Don't try and rub it in too much, please. Jason Reader, Will Pearson. Oh, happy birthday to Will. Turned 25 today. Happy birthday, Will. Hope you've had a good day, bro, and hope you enjoy your night. Hello to River. Hello to Luke, Jean, Robert, Rishi, Jeffrey, everyone that's here. Josh Rabbitoh's 24. I don't know if I said you already or not, but look, man, guys, we're just going to talk about the Cowboys season. So this is basically a Cowboys chat, really. And look, I'm saddened by the exit, man. Like, the way we were beaten by the Sharks was not the way the Cowboys have, that wasn't Cowboys rugby league on Friday night. It wasn't, especially the first half. We did well to come back, and there is a moment that we will talk about that I think if we had have got the pass right, there was a big opportunity to make it even maybe a 4 or 2 point game, and it just didn't happen. But overall, what'd you make of the Sharks game in Friday night on the semi-final?
Yeah, like we were just saying, giving Tricky Trindle way too much space, giving him so much time. Every kick was unchallenged.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like the deficit we're for and against is too close. We nearly got as many points scored against us. 2015, we were the comeback kings. No deficit was too big to come back from. But, week 2 of the finals and giving a team like that a start and, starting, I don't know what he says to him at halftime, but maybe he should start saying it in the before the game.
Yeah. No, you're right. And if we're going to give Trindle that much space, then what do you expect to happen? Now, look, the Sharks did score a couple of lucky tries. I think one of Trindle's tries were off a kick, and then I think McInnes's try was off a kick. But that's semi-final football. You will take any try you can get, whether it be the right decision or not, especially with that penalty try and whatever. Like, if you can score 3 tries off a kick in a finals game, and that is the difference between winning and losing, you're going to take it. So I'm not angry at the Sharks. You get your own luck and you build your own luck, and that's what happened. Now, look, there was one part of the game, and I don't know if you'll agree with this, but we were down 26-18 at one point. It was an 8-point game. There was about 7 minutes to go, maybe 6 minutes to go. Reece Robson made a line break, and I think he might have been just on the 40-meter line, just over halfway. He throws a pass to Dearden. It bounces, and it ends up back with the Sharks. I think it might have been Britton Nakora that ended up with the ball. Drinkwater was trying to come behind. So Dearden would have got the ball, and then he was going to give it to Drinkwater, or he would have won himself. If that ball ends up being clean and it's caught by Dearden or Drinkwater, we're looking at a 2 or 4 point game with about 5 to go. Still a chance to win. Just those sort of moments, they killed us.
Yeah, absolutely, Nick. Reece Robson was the danger man that those guys were probably didn't pencil in, look out for him, because, geez, mate, he was asking a lot of questions, and unfortunately the backup wasn't there on time.
I just happened to think when we were down 26-18, if Reece Robson's pass hits Tom Dearden on the chest, or it bounces to Tom Dearden, and then either he scores or Drinkwater scores, I feel like we could have ran over him at the end, especially with it only being a try in it. We could have really ran over it, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Now, I want to talk about what we're losing or what we've lost, especially now. Season's over. Chad Townsend's already gone to Sydney. He's already down there. We're losing Chad Townsend. We're losing Valentine Holmes. We're losing Kyle Felt. We're losing Kelly Cafu, Fini Fuiaki. I think that's it. I don't think we're losing anyone else. I think they're the 4 that are leaving. Which one of them do you think is going to be the biggest loss?
I think, the one that I'm going to miss the most anyway is going to be Kyle Felt.
Yeah, me too.
Just not going to be, like we spoke about the other day, losing Matty Bowen, and how saddened we both were to, not to be watching him. And Kyle Felt, Mr. Reliable, the points that he scored, the way he scored them. I think Chad, we're going to miss his experience. I know he was a little bit disappointing towards the end of the year with defence and that, but I think he did bring a lot to our game with his experience. So it's a hard one.
I think so as well. And look, I think Val Holmes is going to be a big hole to fill, man. That's going to be a big loss. Goal kicking, especially goal kicking, like his goal kicking this year has gone up a level, especially in the second half of the season. Going to miss Val a lot. I know his defense is a bit very hit and miss here and there, but his attack is undeniable, man. He's going to be a big loss. I think you pretty much nailed it about Chad Townsend. His experience is going to be a bit of a blow as well. And I guess as well, losing Kelly Cafu, Fini Fuiaki, like him coming off the bench in the last 25 minutes of the game, just brings a lot of energy and a lot of impact to the side. And it sucks that he's leaving. He's going to the Dolphins. He's got offered a lot more money to go to the Dolphins, and fair enough. I think he'll go well there, but he will also be a big hole to fill.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. He was damaging. We've got some players coming back, which is a lot to look forward to.
We'll get
a lot of guys that we lost in injury. I'll be looking forward to Cohen Hess coming back.
Oh, hang on a minute. And the other one I should say that's leaving is Jake Granville. Forgot about that.
Oh,
Jake Granville. He there's rumors that he's going to go to England and play over there, or he's just going to retire. So, but I do know that he's not playing any more football. And we were actually there for his last game at Leichhardt against the Tigers. Unfortunately, got injured, and that was his last game. But at least me and you can say we're there for his last ever game in a Cowboys jersey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a sad night with that.
Yeah, that was a weird game too. It was a lot of mixed emotions about that game. And having a look at who we're getting next season, I mean, we're getting Kyle Lawton from the Manly Seagulls, who's he's more of a hooker. That's his spot. But he's been playing second row a lot this year, and he's been going really well. So Kyle Lawton's going to bring a lot of versatility to the side if he can crack the 17, that is. But I think he's going to be a very good addition to the team. And we're also getting a guy that I watch very closely in Kai O'Donnell, who currently plays over in the Super League for the Lee Leopards. And to all the Cowboys fans that are watching this, Kai O'Donnell is playing in an elimination final Saturday morning at 5 a.m. against my Super League team, the Salford Red Devils. And that's on KO as well and all that sort of stuff. So if you want to watch him, get a bit of a closer look at him, he'll be on Saturday morning, 5 a.m. But what do you think about the signings of those two, Kyle Lawton and Kai O'Donnell?
Yeah, it's going to bring a bit of versatility as well, I think.
Well, I think Kai O'Donnell's been brought in to play the Kulikefu Finifuiaki role. Come off the bench, play on that left side, back row. He's more of a left edge player, Kai O'Donnell, so he'll be linking up with Tom Dearden on that left side, which I think he could really build a really nice combination on that left side, which I'm looking forward to seeing next year. And I'm excited to see how he plays, man, because I watch the Super League. I know a lot about the Super League. I watch all the games and whatever, and he's going to be a hell of a play for us, man. He scored 4 tries in a game about a month ago, so he's a hell of a player to keep an eye on.
Yeah, 100%. I'm a bit of a jump ship on the Super League because whoever the Cowboys retire and go and play for, that becomes my team. So St. Helens will be my team next year, of course.
Yeah. Fair enough. Kyle Feld on the wing for St. Helens.
Yeah.
Should go well there. And who knows, Jake Granville might end up there. Who the hell knows? But who knows? And obviously Kyle Lawton. What's that?
I was just going to say, Cowboys have got a bit of a track record for going to St. Helens and big things happening over there.
That's true. Lachlan Coote had a lot of success over at St. Helens. I'm sure there's a few others that I can't remember.
Did Matty Bowen play for them as well?
He went to Wigan.
Wigan,
yeah. And then I think Robert Louis went to my team. He went to Salford.
Yeah.
And I think he might have went to Leeds at one point as well. But yeah, Kyle Lawton as well. Like, he's going to be a handy player, man. I don't know if he'll be in our 17 or he might be on the bench, but he can play hooker. He can play back row. He can probably cover lock as well. Do you think he'll be a good signing for us?
Yeah, 100%, mate. With that, like you say, with the versatility.
Yeah.
Because, we haven't really no Jakey there no more. I know Ruben Cotter can play dummy half, but, we really need him at lock.
Well, it's the same with Sam McIntyre. We had him out in the centres last week against the Sharks, and don't get me wrong, he did a good job, but he just looked gassed out there in the centres.
Yeah.
Look, I felt sorry for him at one point. I'm going, this is brutal. This is very brutal. Now, the off-contract players, obviously, Jordan McLean is one to keep a note on, and so is Jermaine Tanua-Brown. From what I understand and listening to the On the Ranch podcast a few weeks ago, shout out to the On the Ranch boys as well, Jordan McLean, I believe he is going to be re-signing with us for another year. So that's in the progress of getting done. So I'm okay with that. I don't know about you. I think McLean's good for the experience, and I'm glad we're going to re-sign him.
No, I'm a big fan of Jordan's. So I'm glad that he's going to be hanging around for another year. We
need him to stay around too, because it's good to have all these young kids, but you need a couple of leaders to teach them the right way about things. So I'm glad we're keeping McLean on. And the other one to really go off by is Jermaine Tanua-Brown. Now, Jermaine Tanua-Brown come from the Warriors and sort of been a bit of it's sort of been a bit of a pet for Todd Payton ever since we got him. I think that's the only reason why we got him is because Todd Payton coached him when he was at the Warriors. Do you think we'll re-sign Tanua Brown?
I don't know. I hope so.
Tough one.
We're having a bit of a backup because it takes more than 17 players.
Yeah.
You know, we all have our personal favourites. So
yeah,
you know, it's found out this year. You know, we lost a lot through injury.
Yeah. The only reason why we wouldn't sign Tanua Brown is probably because of the whole salary cap drama, and obviously we just upgraded Ruben Cotter and Sam McIntyre to some decent deals, and Griffin Name just re-signed. So I guess it'll come down to the salary cap and whatnot. But I really hope he stays because I do like what I've seen from Tanua Brown. He's had some good moments for us. Now, let's have a look at the year that was. Let's go through the season. Like, we're not going to go through every game and review every game, but we're just going to talk about it from the start of the year. Now, we started the year off on fire, Alan. We were 3-0 to start the year. We beat the Dolphins in round 1 up at Suncorp on a Sunday afternoon. Then we beat the Knights in a game where we played really bad. I think we had like 16 errors. And then we beat the Dragons down there at Cogger after being down 18-4, winning 46-24. What'd you make of the first 3 rounds of the season?
Yeah, well, I think I was at all of them. You were at round 1, weren't you?
Yeah, I was at round 1 and round 3. Yeah.
Yeah. I round 1, round 2. I was just watching replays on YouTube just before come on air.
Yeah.
And because I just sort of scrolling through, wasn't really, and kept thinking these must be the games we lost, you know.
Oh,
round 2 and 3 was,
yeah.
And then we come back, and then I was like, what is this? I know Paul Green had some magic dust that he used to sprinkle on them at half time, you know, and
yeah.
So I don't know what we need. That motivation. What do we get under? Do we underestimate our opponent?
It was a weird start to the year. Like 3-0, you'll take that any day of the week. But it was weird because, like, the Dolphins game was a fairly comfortable win. Like, that was a fairly comfortable result. The Knights game, we played so bad in that game. I think we made about 16, 17 errors. It was the ugliest win you could ever see. It really was. And then the Dragons game, which is full of mixed emotions, we scored first, and then we let them score 3 tries on us, and we come back and flogged them. It was just the first 3 rounds were so bizarre, Callum.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I wear a Cowboys hard at work, and I feel like I'm the coach because just wait. It's like the whole construction side of waiting for the Cowboys to lose, and even when we win, you know, I've got every guy on site giving me a whole review of what we did wrong, and all I can say is, you know, a win in a bad game is better than a loss.
That's right.
But we were building to, you know, defeats because, you know, I don't know where our best football was because.
Yeah, it was weird, guys. Yeah. Speaking of bad defeats, round 4, we take on our big rivals, the Broncos, up at Suncorp in front of about 48,000 people. It started to rain, so a lot of fans sort of just went, oh, well, I'm not going to the football now. We played so bad against the Broncos, it wasn't funny. I remember at one point it was 14-0, and then I think we come back a little bit. The Broncos game was just one to forget. That was a bad night.
Yeah, both the Bronco games were the other way around. The other one, we were looking like we couldn't lose.
Yeah,
at home. Gee.
And all of a sudden, the Broncos game, want to forget, that's the one game of the year where it doesn't matter what form we're in or what form they're in. That's the game we both get up for and we just want to win. Like, when that NRL fixture comes out in November, the Cowboys are marking on the calendar that Broncos game as a must win. If they don't win, everyone behind the scenes is in fucking turmoil.
You're right.
Everyone's fuming. Everyone at the Cowboys Leagues Club is losing their shit. Everyone's pissed off. No one wants to talk to anyone. Everyone's angry. So that's the one game we got to win. Definitely.
Yeah, sitting at the Leagues Club a few years ago, watching the Cowboy Broncos game, and there's always that we lost, and there's a few Broncos supporters, mate. Sorry to any Broncos supporter out there, but you guys are the worst.
They are the worst. And you know what? I don't apologise to any of them. Fuck them all, to be honest. But they are terrible to deal with. They really are. We definitely owe them a receipt at some point soon. That's for sure. And then round 5, we played the Titans up in Townsville there. And look, we won the game 35-22, but it wasn't, I don't know. I think we're leading 28-4. And then we had a play go to the sin bin. And then they come back a little bit. And then we ended up winning. But the Titans game was a weird one too, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
The whole fucking year. The whole start of it was weird, even being 3-0. Now, this is where we had some really down periods. This is where we were stuck in a bad hole of form. This is where I was worried about our season. Round 6, we played the Eels at Combank in Parramatta. Moses is not playing, yet we end up losing 27-20. This game was one that we definitely regretted.
Yeah. Again, copping it at work, and we hadn't beaten anyone.
That was the problem.
The whole year was, I don't know, like if we're getting, playing some hard foe, we're getting tested. And this is what I think the problem was. Even though, like, some of them games we had shockers, we still won because we're playing some pretty ordinary opponents. And then we just slipped into a hole, and all I got was, what happened? What happened? I said, well, mate, my answer was we hadn't beaten anyone.
Yeah, that's the problem. And you're right, because if you look at it, we beat teams that weren't great. We beat the Knights, who weren't going great. The Dragons at the time were not going good. We had an ugly win over the Titans, although the sin bin brought them right back into it. And then we lost to a Parramatta team that never had Mitchell Moses. So that was, I think the Eels loss is the start of where we really dropped our heads and going, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah,
and then the bad form continues. We play the Sharks, and on a Sunday afternoon at Cronulla, and we get absolutely towed up, 42-6. That was a game to forget. That was one of the worst games of the year.
Yeah, it was certainly starting to look pretty bad for us. Getting around that run of losses, I did not see us getting into week 2 of the finals.
Yeah, neither did I. And then a week later, we take on the Panthers during Anzac round. And we were given no chance in the Panthers game. We were given no hope. Even in Townsville, everyone thought Cowboys will get flogged here. This is going to be penalty by 30. Didn't happen. We were down, I think it might have been 20-4 or 24-4. We come back. We end up losing 26-20 in the end, but we just had a lot of good signs in this game. We fought back and we were so close to winning.
Yeah, I was there for that game, and I actually thought we were going to win that, and I think we should have won that. Few things went against us. I don't like to be a crybaby about decisions, but we certainly had our opportunities to win that game.
Yeah,
was very disappointed that we didn't win that game.
I still remember it was 26-20 with about 2.5 minutes to go. I remember Drinkwater chips it over the top. Cleary takes him out. We get a penalty, which I'm happy for, but he should have been in the sin bin. So that's where I was. That's where I was like, you know what? When you play Penrith, you're never going to get 50-50 calls your way anyway. But that sort of thing, it just threw me offside. I went, come on, man. Come on now. And then yep, go on.
I went and got a kebab after the game, and I ended up losing my shit. These Penrith supporters come in carrying on, and I just started yelling and carrying on. Fucking the referee got you through the game.
And then round 9, I mean, this is where I was just beyond frustrated. I was sick and tired of everything at this point. Losing to the Dolphins, 28-26. Now, this game was entertaining to watch. Like, I'm sure the casual rugby league fan would have really enjoyed this game. High scoring, entertaining, attacking brand of rugby league. And we fucking blew this game badly. Like, if there was a game that we blew, this was the one. Like, this game against the Dolphins absolutely pissed me right off. That was a game that we should have won.
Yeah, 100%. A night to forget, that's for sure.
I remember the next day, Billy Slater was on the Sunday Footy show. He's like, should have been a penalty to the Cowboys. Drinkwater was tackled at the leg. Where really, you go back and look at it, there's nothing in it at all. So that game, I'm not blaming referees at all. We lost that because we thought we were better than what we were in that game. I thought that was one of them games where we looked really good, and then we sort of just, I don't know, we just let it, we dropped it, I guess. And
you look at those,
yeah.
You look at those moments, you know, and like the what ifs, but you know, if that tackle, that pass, and there were plenty of them, you know, that you only had to stop that bloke at that moment, and everything's changed, you know, and that's been our year.
That's right. And then we get to the Titans game on the Gold Coast, Sunday afternoon game, and this game was a bit like the Knights game, but the only difference was we were down 20-0 with, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes to go. We ended up scoring a couple of tries. We got down 20-18. We had an opportunity to score in the last play of the game, but we ended up getting tackled 15 meters out. But I was beyond frustrated at this point because we are coming on the back of 1, 2, 3, 4, on the back of 4 losses in a row. Let me lose our 5th game in a row to the Titans. And I'm just going, how are we going to recover from this? Like, season's almost over already.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't looking good, that's for sure.
We looked cooked. We looked absolutely cooked. And then I remember next round, Magic Round. I'm like, right, well, this is it. This is absolutely it. We lose this, throw it in. Throw the towel in, sack the players, sack the coach, sack everyone. If we had a lost Magic Round, I was prepared to throw it all in. Season would have been gone. And look, we were going terrible. I think we'll come in like 4th last at one point at this stage of the year, maybe 5th last. South Sydney was last or 2nd last. We won the game 28-22. It wasn't pretty. It was a pretty ugly game, but we won, and that's all I cared about, to be honest. I'm just glad we got it done.
Yeah, I was there for that one as well. And I tell you what, they were doing everything in their powers to lose that game, mate. Gee.
How about at the end? How about at the end when we were leading by 6? They put a grubber kick in. It hit the friggin' pad of the post. The ball was loose. And I think Dearden or Drinkwater knocked the ball dead, and we ended up winning. That was it. That was such an, oh my God, like, that was an ugly win, but we needed to get it done.
Yeah, I was crooking the guts watching that game, mate.
I was losing. I was in the Cowboys Bay losing it. I'm going, if we fucking lose this. And then we found a bit of momentum after that. And that's all it takes sometimes. It's just you're in a patch of terrible form. You just get one win, whether it be ugly or not. It helps. It really helps. And this is where it started. We play the West Tigers on my birthday, funny enough. My first time in Townsville. We play them on a Friday 6 o'clock game. We beat the Tigers, but again, pretty crappy win. 42-28. No defense in this game whatsoever. But that's two wins in a row against two teams that are down the bottom. It was pretty important.
Yeah, well, I was out camping that night. I actually didn't get to see the game, and I was watching the what do you call it? The updates.
Yeah.
And I'm looking there, and then we're in front, and then we weren't, and then we were, and then I think one of the other guys was keeping an eye on the game, and I think I found out when we'd finished that we'd won.
Yeah. And then we conceded like 2 tries at the end, which we shouldn't have, but we did.
Yeah.
And then this is probably the best win of the season. One of them anyway. Probably my personal favourite. It's right up there, to be honest. Round 13. We play the Roosters Sunday afternoon in Sydney. This is our very first game at the brand new Allianz Stadium. We had about 5 or 6 players out due to state of origin. Don't get me wrong, the Roosters still had 3 or 4 players out themselves, but they didn't have as many players out as we did. We went to Sydney and we beat the Roosters 18-16 after being down 16-4. This was a gutsy win.
Yeah, I remember watching this at home. It was, I was so happy.
One of the great wins.
Yeah, real gutsy win.
We debuted Jamal Shibasaki. We debuted Jackson Purdue. We had Braden Burns on the wing. We had... The team was all over the place, to be honest, but we ended up winning, and it was one of the best wins of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of my personal favourites of the whole year. I enjoyed this game a lot.
And it's always sweet beating the Roosters.
Yeah, it's always good beating a big club like them, especially at the new Allianz Stadium. Very good to win there. And then, after winning 3 in a row, we get slapped right in the face, and we lose to the Warriors after Origin, 42-12. This is where you shake your head. This is where you shake your head and you go, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that was a very, very bitter night that for me.
Oh, it was a bludger. It was a bludger of a game. I remember going, this is a bad one. And then round 15, we play the Raiders in Canberra. I remember going into this game. It was a very 50-50 game on the betting odds. We played the Raiders in Canberra Friday at 6 o'clock, and we absolutely smoked them 34-16. I really loved this game, Callan. I was there for this game, and I had a ball in Canberra. I thought this was a great win.
Yeah, I was driving to Townsville, probably going over speeding a little bit, hoping to get to Townsville so I could watch it on me. I hooked the laptop up to the TV in the hotel, and when I first turned it on, seeing the score, I thought we were losing, and then then that was the best football. I'd missed the best football.
Yeah, we played so well.
Then the Canberra Raiders end up having a bit of a comeback.
Yeah, they were coming back a bit late, weren't they? They tried.
Yeah.
To come back late. It was too late for them, and then it took 15 rounds. We finally get our first bye. Couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Now, I'm not going to whinge about it, but to make us play 15 weeks without having a bye, where certain teams had already had their second bye by that point of the year was pretty ridiculous. Pretty ridiculous, to be honest. Anyway.
Yeah. I think it was a bit of a godsend, but,
yeah.
Having those wins in the bag, like, I hope that they weren't looking at it like that. But as a fan, knowing that we've got these 2 points coming, and if we keep winning, we're certainly looking, what we end up achieving.
Yeah. And then we get to the Penrith game, round 17. Again, a bit like the Roosters game. Origin affected. Sunday afternoon at Penrith. It was wet. It was shit weather at a shit stadium. I'm so happy we won the game, but to be honest with you, Callan, it was absolutely miserable on the hill, getting drenched like I did. But we won the game again. Panthers had a few players out of Origin. So did we. We ended up winning 16-6. But most impressive part about this game is we had about 2 or 3 players in the sin bin, yet we still won.
Yeah. We were missing 2 men. One at different stages. So we were 12 men for 60 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it was cooked.
So what an effort, mate. I was so proud of that effort.
Gutsy performance it was too. Gutsy performance. And then round 18, we get all of our Origin players back, I think, because round 19 we had the bye. The game against Manly, this game was just... I wanted to slap myself in the face several times after this. I think we're down 12-0 at one point, and we come back, and anyway, ends up going to... Drinkwater kicks a 2-point field goal, ends up going to Golden Point. We missed 5 field goals.
Oh.
Townsend missed 3. Val missed 2. The guy that kicked the 2-point field goal, Drinkwater, didn't even get a crack at a 1-pointer. This game was a bit like the Parramatta game. Definitely one to forget.
Yeah, another one I was there for. And like you said, I could not believe that Drinky, it didn't look like it was planned. I just watched that game just before earlier today as well.
Yeah.
It didn't look like that was planned. It wasn't like he was getting the ball way out the back.
Yeah,
just kicks it, and nails it, and then we don't think to go back to that man who just kicked a 2-pointer under pressure without a problem.
Bizarre.
It absolutely baffled me that.
And Cherry Evans missed 1 field goal, and then he got a second crack at it and bang, and that's what Cherry Evans will do because he's that type of player. He's quality. You can't give quality players from the opposition too many chances at a field goal because they'll get it. They'll kick it eventually. They miss one, they'll get the next one.
You're right there, mate.
Most of the time. And then round 21, we took on the Sharks in Townsville, and I remember going into this game, we had a bit of a hoodoo against Cronulla, but we ended up winning this game by 30-22. I'm glad we won this game against the Sharks.
Yeah, for sure.
It was sort of a comfortable win. Like I think we're leading by like 14, and then they scored a late try, sort of thing. It didn't matter, but we won by 8, but it felt like a comfortable win.
Yeah.
It was a weird old game. And
always good to beat them.
Always good to beat them. And then me and you come across on social media the week of the Tigers and Cowboys game. We end up meeting up for the first time. And yes, 48-30 is a very weird scoreline to win. And I'm not happy about letting in 30 points, but win's a win, right?
Yeah, you're right there. Yeah, it was. I kept looking around trying to see because I couldn't see the scoreboard from where we were sitting.
Oh, how shit was that fucking place?
And I was starting to, that was the first time I'd ever been to Leichhardt Oval, and I was starting to get worried that the deficit was a lot closer.
Mm. Yeah, it was a weird game.
When they just kept at one stage there, I think they scored about 3 tries in a very short period. I
Yeah, it
was
was
getting a
weird,
bit.
wasn't
I was getting a bit worried.
it? I'm not going
It
to
was
get into
bloody
it.
cold. It was bloody
was.
cold too.
I, I'm not going to get into it, but remember those West Tigers fans that were carrying on?
Yeah, one bloke behind me, because when they scored their 3 tries and they go, where's the drummer boy now? And I said, he's just over there. And then when we started scoring again, you started beating your drum. And I go, there he is. he's over there.
I remember this guy and this lady. They were going off at me. They were like, "Oh, can you sit down? I can't say the game. Your effing drums hurting my ears." I'm like, "Welcome to the footy, love."
The guy sitting behind me, he reckons, oh, you must be very proud. And then every try, and I go, I am. I'm very proud.
I don't think Leichhardt Oval are going to approve the drum again anytime soon. After that, I can just imagine all the West Tigers members. They would have been like, "Oh, the Cowboys drummer was very rude." Blah blah blah. I can imagine how mad they would have been.
Well, our members, I bet you they all said, bring back the push-up boys.
No,
Tigers
they did.
members said, bring back, don't level at the drum back.
I should mention as well, we missed the Bulldogs game. Yeah, round 20. Forgot about that one. Round 20 against the Bulldogs. This was a game where we were really tested against a team that was, I mean, Bulldogs had a great season, and that was the first time they've been good in a long time. But we're playing a good side in the Bulldogs, and we won 20-18. Tom Dearden won us this game. If you remember, Did made that break, gave it to Purdue with about 8 minutes to go. That was a really important win the Bulldogs won.
Yeah, big time.
Especially after the way we lost against Manly, and then we're playing another team that was in the top 8 in the Bulldogs. That was a really important result.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think as well, that period, round 18, 20, 21, we're playing 3 teams that are in the 8. Dogs Manly were in the 8, and Sharks were in the top 4. So to win 2 out of them 3 was really good. And then the Tigers game, like you said, it was ugly. And then, yeah, look, the fucking Broncos game again. Jesus Christ. What was it, 18-6? Then it was 42-18. This game was an absolute terrible game.
Right, we got there late, and because there was a lot of Bronco supporters there, and we were running. We were trying to find a park, and we could hear the cheering, and I'm jumping around, and I'm saying to the missus, we must be scoring. Got there and we're down. And I'm like, what's? And then we put 18 points on them. I thought, oh, we're on here.
Yeah.
And then someone woke up Katoni Stags, and holy shit.
Yeah, that was a bad night. That was a bad, miserable, dark night, the Broncos game. And then we made a few decisions with the team. We dropped Chad Townsend, which was a massive call, especially that late in the season. Brought in Jay Clifford. I was happy for Jay Clifford, and he absolutely killed it against the Raiders. How good was Clifford in that game?
Yeah. So, like you said, I was so happy for Clifford too. I've been a big supporter of him. I was sad to see him leave the club.
Yeah.
So whenever he has played, and he had a pretty good winning streak too this year when he has played.
He did. Yeah. So yeah, the Raiders game. I mean, all due respect to the Raiders, it was over at halftime. I think it was 24-4, 24-0. It was over at halftime. So
yeah,
it was a great result for us. Then we had a bye. Thank fuck, we had our third bye. Then we played Melbourne, who rested pretty much their whole team, and we beat them 38-30. Again, a bit like the Tigers game at Leichhardt and the one earlier in the year. Wasn't pretty, but any win over the Storm's a good win.
Yeah. And again, copped it at work, even when we win, I cop it at work. Yeah. Mate, the Storm, their players, like a lot of our guys who were sitting there waiting,
Yeah,
they're quality players, mate. You know, they're Melbourne's B team would beat most teams' A side.
I agree. I think if Melbourne's B team were in the NRL and you called them, I don't know, the Melbourne B team, they might even finish in the top 8 and knock off some of the teams outside the 8, like the Titans and the West Tigers and etc. They probably would.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They probably would. But yeah, it was an ugly looking win. And then one of our best games of the year, man, the Bulldogs game at a Cool Stadium the last round.
Oh yeah.
Holy. 44-6. Me and you were there for this. We had a bloody great night. And how good was this win?
Oh yeah. You know, it was like we're on. You know, I just couldn't believe it. Like you and I, we went and got a drink at halftime, and I said to you, I'm more nervous than I was at, you know, and we were looking good. I was just the way that our track record, it's like, what are we going to do to blow this?
Yeah.
And
exactly
we went on with it, you know, and I thought, here we go.
At halftime of that game against the Bulldogs, we were leading 20-0. And you don't want to say it's over at 20-0, but you're probably thinking, we just get one more or two more to seal it, we're going to win. And once we got to 32-0, I knew that was game. I'm like, right, we got it now. 32-0, that's game over. We've won. It was a great win. Sucks that we didn't play them again because, I mean, we beat them twice. I would have liked to play them in finals, but fortunately it didn't end up that way. And then we get to the finals, and then obviously you pull off an absolute miracle by basically a GoFundMe to get me to Townsville, and you get me to Townsville. We attend the game, and we beat the Knights 28-16 in the elimination final, and we're down 12-4 at halftime, and I just wanted to go jump off a bridge at that point, but we end up winning. We end up winning, and that was one of the best nights ever.
Yeah, love that. You know, there's a lot of moments of the year that we, you know, would love to forget, but you know,
Yep.
and this is the thing of being a rugby league fan, you know, and this is what makes me look forward to the next game, the next year, you know, whatever it is. It's
Yep.
the camaraderie. It's, you know, obviously we love a win, but meeting you and, you know, the Cowboy family coming to the aid, you know, I come up with the idea and I got you a ticket and I thought, well, worst comes to worst, I'll just give it to someone else.
Yeah.
And because I don't even think anything was in motion at that stage. And these were random tickets. I didn't realise that. I heard people going, oh, they weren't happy with their ticket, so they go again. I was just happy with the tickets I got, and the ticket that I randomly picked for you was front row where you love to sit. And I just went, I'm getting goosebumps now. It's just talking about it. And this is meant to be this bloke. And I got a vision board. I wrote, get Nick to Townsville. And it happened, you know. So all those people, if you're out there that helped, mate, thank you. Absolutely legendary.
You should be very proud, man. Like, I'm grateful that I even got there. Like, I still can't believe I even got there. Like, looking back on it now, I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked I even got up there. Absolutely insane. One of the great nights. One of the best nights of my life. And I've been to a lot of Cowboys games. So, forever grateful for that. I really am. And then, unfortunately, we lose to the Sharks. We already spoke about the Sharks game, but that was cooked. That was fucking... anyway. But I will say this. Me and you together at a Cowboys game, we're 3-0. We've never lost. We've never lost. Every Cowboys game we've been to, we have not lost. So we got a 3-0 streak, and hopefully we can keep it that way next season.
Yeah. You know, I only just sort of started doing this, how long ago? 5 or 6 years ago. I think I thought I want to go to an away game, you know, and me and my son, like we started because, bit of my backstory, I had a drinking problem, got off the piss, got to my first game, 95, didn't get back till I got off the piss. 2002, I think it was, I got to my first Cowboy game off the piss. So 95, 2002, I was that hopeless, mate. I couldn't even get down to Townsville. So every year since then, I've been to, number of games. It just gets, now it's like I hardly miss a game. And then I thought, I've got to start doing away games. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention. The early years, my son and I, every game we went to, we lost.
Oh, shit.
And I started thinking to myself, it's me. I'm the voodoo. I don't know if I want to go to any more games, And anyway, we cracked it. We started winning. And then away games. Every away game I went to, we lost.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So I think the first I think the Tigers, Roosters I lost, South Sydney I lost, Knights I lost, Storm I lost. I think the first game with you, mate, was the first away game that I've been to that we won.
Oh, well, thank fuck for that. We got a bad record of Leichhardt over too, so I'm glad we won.
Otherwise, you would have been saying to me, don't come back.
Oh, shit.
Nice to meet you, but do me a favour. Meeting you, man. It's that Tigers game was, like I said, it was pretty ordinary, but the Bulldogs, man, sitting with you guys, man, that was just that will be one of my, happiest nights I'll look back on in my lifetime.
The atmosphere was something else too.
Oh, absolutely.
It was off its head. It was so good, and plus, we'll see it on TV a few times as well, which was good.
Yeah. You had the flag going.
Yeah, fucking waving the big flag. Oh, no, it was a good night. Now, we're going to wrap it up here very soon, but let's talk about some players that, I think we'll both agree, Tom Dearden probably our best player this year.
Oh, mate, consistence. And, we talk about Drinkwater. He's our X factor. Yeah. But Tommy Dearden, mate, he epitomises what it means to be a Cowboy, mate. That effort, like, he is the closest thing that will to Jonathan Thurston, because Jonathan Thurston was such a competitor. That's why we played the way we did, because of his standards. And I don't know if Dearden demands that of the others. And when he probably gets to a comfortable position to be starting to demand better from his players, I think we've lost, like you said, Valentine Holmes, but Tommy Dearden, mate, that I look at that. We end up losing the game, but that running down Cobbo,
yeah,
that's an Origin, that's an Australian, that's a Cowboy of the Year. That's just
that's the best.
Yeah,
you're right. I mean, when JT was coming to the end, I was like, all right, Michael Morgan's going to be the man going forward. And he was for a while. And then his shoulder injury obviously gave in and he had to medically retire. But you're right. Dearden's the closest thing that we've had since Thurston. And to be honest, it's probably not even close. Dearden's the next guy up. He's the one.
Yeah.
He's the next.
Like the thing with Drinky is his defensive deficiencies, reading on the Cowboy page, people like, he's my favourite player, so don't get me wrong. But his defensive deficiencies is just not good enough.
Yeah, he's got to work on that in the off season. Now, before we wrap it up, let's name 3 different players from the Cowboys that had a good season that may not get the raps that they deserve. So I'm going to start with Harrison Edwards. Harrison Edwards, we bought him. I think he debuted against the Titans on the Gold Coast back in round 10. I just love how he's come into the side and he doesn't do anything fancy. He just makes a lot of tackles and he just runs hard and he has a crack. So, number 1, I'll say Harrison Edwards.
Yeah, I'd say I hope that this bloke gets his notice. Sam McIntyre.
Yeah, love it.
You know, he just does not miss tackles. He runs he's always a handful to stop, and he's just there. You know, he's one of them blokes. He's just there.
Yeah, you're right. All right, so what have we got? Edwards and McIntyre so far. Another one that I want to give a rap to that I thought had a really good season that not many people are going to really talk about was Griffin Name. Thought he was great this year. He had a good season, Griffin Name.
Yeah.
He had a very good season.
What
about you for number 2?
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of Griffin Name. I've got his name on my back. I've got a tattoo of a griffin on my back. I'll try and think of someone different.
Yeah.
Someone that hasn't been noticed.
What about?
Because Reece Robson would definitely be noticed.
What about Finney Filiaki?
Yeah, absolute beast. You know.
Yeah, he had a good season. And I guess the last one that I want to talk about that had a really good year that no one will. I mean, he would have got noticed 6 months ago, but I think now no one wants to talk about him, especially the back half of the year. I thought Tamalolo really had a good second half of the season.
Oh, mate.
I reckon by round 8, round 9, if he had retired, I would have been like, whatever, all good. But since Magic Round, his form's just been really solid. So Tamalolo for me, massive shout out to Tamalolo.
Yeah, I like sometimes I think I'm psychic. I had an argument with the guy at work, and I need to record this bloke because he's so full of shit, and he was carrying on about Tamalolo, and he was a Cowboys supporter. This guy's a big key. He's got a Cowboys number plate, and he was more or less saying, it's time for him to go. Yep. And I said, mate, I'd love to challenge Todd Payton and say, give him, because he wasn't giving him many minutes, Yeah. I said, give him minutes, and then when he's buggered, you prove me wrong, basically. Yeah. And then I think it was that round when he just exploded, and I love being right, but I also love it when, the Cowboys players that I love stand up, So I who's another bloke? I think Jordan McLean.
Yeah, that's a good one. McLean, good shout. Underrated. No one talks about McLean. I thought he was great. He had a good season. He had a hell of a year.
Lovely bloke. I met him at a funeral.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, a friend of mine, his missus is got a connection to them.
Right, okay.
And we're sitting there. I actually got a photo with him, and I got him to sign that photo. I printed it out and got him to sign. I'm sitting there because he's a giant of a man and he stands out like dog's balls. And I'm looking over at him, and I said to someone, "Is that Jordan McLean?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I went over, and I didn't want to be like a fanboy, and went over and, "Hey, how you going, man?" And I've met him before, and he remembered me, and we had a bit of a yarn, and can I get a quick photo with you? Yeah.
Oh, it's
so
good.
yeah, lovely bloke too.
Sure is. All right, I think that's pretty much about it. I think last thing we'll just go on about. What was your favourite win of the whole year? And you can't include finals, so we'll just go from the round 1 to round 27. What would your favourite game be of the whole season?
I remember the Penrith game that we were missing our Origin players.
Yep, against Penrith.
Yeah.
I've got two that I can't split. The Raiders game in Canberra, because we were just on and the away bay was completely sold out. We had a big bunch of Cowboys fans there. It was a great turnout. Probably the best one of the entire year. In terms of games down towards Sydney and Canberra and whatever. And I guess the other one is probably the Roosters game. That was a gutsy as, like, 6 players out, down 16-4, win 18-16. Those two are my favourite. The Tigers game on my birthday was good as well. Like, there's so many we could go over, but just overall, I think it was a good season. I'd probably give our season probably an 8 out of 10, to be honest.
I'll probably give him a 7.
Yeah.
I think if I'm the coach, I'm disappointed because, and it's like everyone was sticking up for Drinky. Again, like I said, he's my favourite player. But when you're that good, and they used to carry on about Jonathan Thurston when we didn't have him, mate, he can't help it if he's that good that he makes that big of an impact. So when he's missing, he's noticed. So when you're on the field and you're not living up to your expectation, well, it's just not good enough. But love the Cowboys, win, lose, draw. I'm always going to go up and I'm not going to go and, after a game and give them a hard time. I always give them a pat on the back. Thanks, mate. Thanks for putting on the jersey. Thanks for trying your best. And, they know what they do. They do video reviews, and we're just fans. We love the game. We make the game what it is, because without us, they're just a couple of park footballers, mate.
Exactly right.
I love them, and I think we'll be bigger and better next year.
I do too. Well, if you're going to give them a 7, I'm going to give them an 8, just because at one point in the season, I think we were 4-6 or 4-7. We looked absolutely cooked. We somehow win 2 games without our Origin players in Sydney and against Roosters and Panthers, where we're given no hope. We end up winning enough games to somehow finish 5th, miss the top 4 by 1 game after our terrible period around round 6 to round 10. Somehow end up in 5th. Miss the 4 by a game, get to week 2 of the finals. I'm going to give him an 8. I think we did well. Probably should have got to the prelim, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm a hard taskmaster. In my heart, I give them 10 out of 10. But for how good that they really are, like representative, we've probably got the most representative players.
We do, yes.
We'll have a lot of guys in the Pacific nations. We've got a lot of positives, which is always a bonus, to be able to reflect on, yes, we could have been, what could have been, but okay, let's do it better next year. And we got a thing for years that end in 5. 05, we go down to the Tigers. 2015, we win. And it was the same thing with 04 and 2014. We were building. Yeah, we were building.
That's right.
And we're building again.
You're right. You build it. You're right. You're 100% right. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up from us. We've been on here for just over an hour now. I didn't think it would be this long, but that's all right. We had a good chat about the season and whatever. So thank you very much for your time, Callan. I didn't think we were going to go that long, but really appreciate your time tonight, man.
My pleasure, mate, as always. Thank you, Nick.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you to everyone in the live chat that were watching the entire time and that stayed with us. We appreciate you, man. Without you guys watching us, there is none of us really. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe Go and check out Callum's YouTube channel if you haven't already. The link to his channel is in the description box down below. Also, shout out to TBC Live for sponsoring the video as well. Download the app today. And we're out of here, guys. Cowboys 2025 premiers. Here we come.
That's a wrap.